Now, what do we make of this? Minnesota's U.S. Attorney, Andrew Luger, pledged yesterday to devote the entire weight of his office to punishing violent criminals, part of an aggressive strategy he said is necessary to curb a surge in carjacking, shootings, and gang activity in the Twin Cities. And I think that's great. My only thought was, what has taken you guys so long to make this a focus?
Right. Yeah, and are the judges on board with this
and the prosecutors?
This crazy scheme?
Standing alongside local law enforcement leaders at the federal courthouse in Minneapolis, Luger said he's instructed all 42 prosecutors in the criminal division of his office to work on violent crime, which he will oversee from indictment to sentencing. Everyone within the sound of my voice who is contemplating the next carjacking or engaged in gang activity or trafficking in illegal weapons is forewarned, Luger said, and the plague of violence end the plague of violence now. You have a choice, and now is the time to walk away. Federal prosecution and federal incarceration are the alternatives. As of Tuesday, all adult carjackers will be charged and prosecuted under federal laws, and every person convicted will serve time in federal prison. I think adult carjackers would constitute a minority of carjackers.
Yes, I thought the same thing.
They're pretty much teens.
14, 15,
as young as
16.
14. None of them know how to drive. As of Tuesday, all adult carjackers will be charged and prosecuted under federal laws, and every person convicted will serve time in federal prison, he said. Federal prosecutors will also devote more resources to indicting people caught possessing illegal guns or straw purchasing guns for black market buyers. And Luger said another focus of his office will be shootings involving auto seats, a popular gun modification also known as a switch. What does that do, Kenny? It turns a handgun into a
Maybe it turns
weapon?
it into a fully auto.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you, I can turn the page, I guess. That would be, I have to go to
I'm not a
page
gun
5.
expert because I don't need to be. I just go to DK Mags and let them be my experts.
It turns it into an automatic weapon.
All right.
The announcement comes as violence hits a generational high in some parts of Minnesota after decades of historically low violent crime. Minneapolis saw 97 homicides in 2021, the most since 1995. Last year, St. Paul broke its record for homicides. And we go on and on to learn that he's talking tough. I have no reason to disbelieve him. What I'm wondering, God, you know what's becoming of us? I'm normally not as cynical as most of you guys. Reavers, you might be the most cynical guy I know.
Yes.
I take
that
that as an insult.
Well, but this smacks.
I really have to step up my game.
Yeah, you do, Olson.
This again smacks of politics.
What do you mean?
Well, we Democrats aren't that bad. Look, we're here now to solve your
We're
crime
getting tough
problem.
on
We're
crime.
going to get tough now.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, where have you been?
Bricks and mortar.
Well, he just started, though, again, remember?
I've been working remotely.
No, he just was reappointed. Remember? Hey, remember?
Yes, I do. Much of the news conference focused on the rise of carjackings. A few years ago, there were so few carjackings that law enforcement barely even tracked the crime, Luger said. Everything has changed. Now they happen in broad daylight and with premeditation. Political leaders in the Twin Cities suburbs have lamented the rise in violent auto robberies, prompting Minnesota lawmakers to push bills that would designate a new specific statute for carjackings. Such a federal law already exists, but federal prosecutors have not frequently charged carjackers in recent years. Luger said he's instructed local, state, and federal law enforcement to bring all carjacking cases to his office for charging now. And as long as they fit our statute, we will prosecute them under federal law. All right. Now, many of the carjacking suspects arrested recently are younger than 18. Among them were 5 juveniles accused of stealing an SUV in December and crashing it in northeast Minneapolis, breaking the vehicle in two and killing 2 of its teenage joyriders. Luger said it's difficult to prosecute juveniles under the federal law. We're talking about it. We're not there yet. Okay. Well, good luck, Mr. Luger. I think we're all terribly supportive of your efforts.
Yeah.
I'm just...
Will it make a difference?
I think it will, yeah. I mean, if you're going to You get the word out. You're going to jail, pal. Well, then make sure you do and get your prosecutors on
But
board.
Kenny nailed it earlier, though.
Judges.
That's all fine and well. But if the judges aren't willing to put them in jail, Joe, it's none of this is going to matter.
Those scanner accounts on Twitter take great joy in pointing out how many times these criminals have been turned out right away. And yet there's so many repeat offenders walking around, from sex crimes all the way up to carjacking and robbery and murder even.